And we are back.
We are back, Bumble Bitches.
Episode 37 of the To Be Better podcast, season 2.
It's a lot of episodes.
It is. I looked at our YouTube channel today. We have over 2,600 videos on there. It includes shorts, obviously. It's a lot, though.
It is definitely a lot.
Yep. So I don't want to do a whole lot of banter today. I just want to bang out emails today.
Okay.
For you guys who are watching on Patreon, we will interact with you guys a little bit at the end of the recording. However, I would like to point out that we will be doing a live chicken pot pie video with Peaches after we go and do this. We're waiting on DoorDash, or Instacart, I mean. Mm-hmm. And, I brought that laptop today.
Yes.
And I left the card to make the camera work.
Oh, no.
So the other option is to unplug one of the webcams from in there, or unplug that long ass cable and plug it in there and run everything off this computer.
I also left something at home if we want to make a trip.
What'd you forget?
My pie container.
Oh, we may have to do that then. We may have to do that.
I did order a graham cracker pre-made. It comes in a tin. I'm going to try to break that graham cracker out of there without fucking up the tin.
Why?
Because I didn't want to drive home for my pie.
But what if you left the graham cracker in there and it would be like a graham cracker crust chicken pot pie? That doesn't sound bad to me.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound good.
To you?
Right.
I would like to try that.
Okay.
The worst that's going to happen is I'm going to eat it and not enjoy it a lot. I'm still going to enjoy it. I love chicken pot pie. It's one of my favorite foods.
Hang on. We're going to need more butter. I don't have my phone. I have to go grab my phone.
We'll figure it out when we're done.
Okay. Altogether, we have 5 sticks. Yeah, I don't think that's enough butter.
You don't think 5 sticks of butter is going to be enough?
Oh, no, that's good. I nixed my dessert. Yeah, no, that's good.
Jesus.
I was going to make a dessert. I was going to make a...
Zach said it's going to be soggy and not good. After the way he cooked at the cabin, I'm not questioning his ass. You right, bro. He'd be like, taste this. It's amazing. There can be liver and onions. I'm going to fucking taste it. I may not like it, but I'm going to taste it. Oh, boy can cook.
Damn, but when I said that doesn't sound good, you were like, eh.
It sounds good to me, but soggy doesn't sound good to me. Are y'all's chairs identical? They are identical.
I feel like that would make it too sweet. And I feel like the texture... The texture of the graham cracker falling apart mixed with the warmth and mushiness of the chicken pie part.
It still sounds good to me.
I can make it for you. I'll make it for you. We will definitely have to go home and get my pie
let's not
container.
do it for a cooking video, though.
No, fuck.
I'm fucking intrigued.
I would have to double all of my ingredients. It's too late.
Yeah, we don't have to do it today.
Okay.
But I want it sounds good to me.
I could do, I have a little cupcake tin. I could do little tiny graham cracker bottoms, and you can have little bite-sized chicken pot pies.
We're going to have to run home.
You know what? I get it. I get the thought of food textures being mixed together because I enjoy dipping pickles. I know I'm going to get judged for this. I enjoy dipping pickles in mashed potatoes.
See?
Yeah.
There are things that just do it. I will eat a peanut butter and jalapeno sandwich. It's something about the texture of the peanut butter and the crunch of the jalapeno and the spice. I fucking love that shit.
Really?
It's
I'm going to have to try that now. Maybe add a little bit of fluff. All right. First email.
Yeah.
This one says, Patreon, why does it hurt? Themes, commitment issues, deception, cheating, communicating after a gap in relationship, incarceration, drug possession, in parentheses, felony, and using your partner. This is everybody's disclaimer right now. Alrighty? Editor's note, this is a lot. This behavior is certainly not acceptable and is downright awful. There is a question at the end of the original email, but there is some ask for validation. The emailer may be somewhat mentally conditioned against her own best interests and is seeking some amount of validation, ultimately, and insight into why she is acting against her own interests. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I want to take a sip of my soda first.
While she's taking a sip of her soda, can Zach, can you or Jenny reach out to the last therapist that emailed us that said that they wanted to come on the podcast, and have them email me directly to my email address, so that I can start trying to figure out how to make that work, because I would like to do an email or another therapist episode.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. First and foremost, I have been a silent follower and love everything about your business you've grown together and the connection you allow us to see. I don't think you realize how much of an example you put forth to literal strangers who may have lacked healthy relationships growing up. Now to get to the nitty-gritty.
Before we move on, can we just take a second to recognize that this is just who we are? And this is our relationship, and we're not putting on a show. Like, this is the way that we live our everyday life. Mm-hmm. So it's not like we're doing anything special for you guys. This isn't like a, look what we have. I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes I really enjoy rubbing it in people's faces. I'm not going to lie. I'm petty as fuck sometimes. But the loving and the joking and the flirting, and that's just our everyday life. So this isn't like, it's not inauthentic. So we're not doing anything for you guys. We're just reading emails and answering questions, but the interactions are real. This is just normal shit for us.
Right.
She made it sound like we were doing something special for the world.
I do this for you.
We're just doing life shit, and you guys get to witness it. You want to talk about that photo shoot you want to do this morning?
I mean, how much do you want to get?
Look how fucking red your face got. No, let's skip it. We'll save it for another time. I just wanted to. Woo, you red.
So are you. Carrie, get my husband on the
No.
screen.
I'm putting the can up to my face, so the can is red. My face is
right.
not.
It more focuses on the Coca-Cola.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm having heart palpitations. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, headphone users. Okay, hang on. Tara said hottest Megamind I've ever seen, Zach, and I don't know what
Zach
that is.
said you out here looking like Megamind.
Who, me? I was about to say, that's funny because I call myself Megamind. I thought that someone else in chat did that. And I was like, relation, twinsies. But no, it's just Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, back into the email?
Yep.
For some background, I met someone, got into a relationship. A year into it, he suddenly gained full custody of his daughter, who I took under my wing, respectfully as her mother grew absent. We welcomed a child of our own 2.5 years later, which also happened to be a low part of our relationship. I parted from the relationship in early 2017.
That's a sad thing to hear. They had a baby at a low in their relationship.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a happy thing.
Oh my gosh, we're pregnant.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's how that sounds.
Yeah. For 4 years, we allowed a toxic relationship to go on due to not letting go of each other, but also not committing to each other 100%. Okay, but what did that look like?
Chaos.
Right, but who was not 100%? Were you both at we're just fuck buddies? Was he pushing the relationship and you were like, I'm not ready for this? Were you wanting the relationship and he was like, no, I'm not about that. I'm going to see whoever I want to see. I feel like that's important.
I agree. Details matter.
Yeah. This is very lip gloss. Because it's glossy. They're glossing over things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your mind went there and mine went, hey, Alexa, play lip gloss.
No, that's why I did the dance. Yeah. I really think that we should do a skit where we pretend to be each other.
I did that on TikTok, on the Life account, remember?
Right, I'm too nervous to do it by myself. You're over here, I don't know how to do funny skits. I feel uncomfortable doing it, but you absolutely nailed me.
Well, that's because I was in a really good mood that day and it was funny.
Yeah.
Well, somebody trying to tell me to perform, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
No, there's an instant defiance in me.
Same. Same.
I think that would be fun. I need you to be there to do it with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get a fake beard. You have the Bob Ross beard.
I do have no, I don't. Maybe
No, I think you do.
I'll have to look for it. I was honestly just gonna get like red and white makeup pencils and very finely draw it on. Like, how realistic can I make this look with makeup? I was just gonna draw some of your tattoos on my face. Yeah. Is that too much? You don't look like you're amused by that.
I think the actual stick-on beard would be funnier.
Yeah. Back to the email?
Yep.
Okay. So, not letting go, not 100% committed to each other. We decided to purchase a home together. I'm going to reread that sentence. We decided to purchase a home together that benefited the both of us. I then decided and shared I would be committed from that point forward in hopes he chooses to do the same.
So they were both uncommitted.
Yeah.
Okay. That answers that question.
That does. He made it clear he wasn't committed, but also not honest about his involvement with other women. Okay, so let's touch on that. Because I could see where the concern of being involved with other women would lie due to STDs and cooties. But I can see the argument of, we're not in a committed relationship. You don't need to know what I'm doing behind closed doors.
Right.
So what is your opinion on that?
If they were sleeping with each other, it would be nice to have transparency. Like, we're both doing other people. That would be nice to know. But unless there was an honest discussion about that leading into it and it was asked, it doesn't have to be divulged.
Yeah.
You know, I do think the right answer is to be like, hey, I know that we're talking, but just so you're aware, I am talking to other people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think talking and sleeping are two different things.
I chose the word talking instead of sleeping.
But I think it's important to differentiate between that.
Yeah.
Because someone could be like, oh, I can just say I'm talking to people and they'll understand that I'm putting my dick places.
Yeah. I think that if you're talking to somebody that's, in my opinion, to be expected in today's society.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that needs to be a conversation. Like, are we exclusive? That it should be asked. If you're courting or dating, you should be asking, are we exclusive? And if they say no, I mean, it tells you everything. But in this situation specifically, where they agreed to commit to each other, if he had been messing around the entire time and he decided to be one woman from now on, does the rest of that really matter?
Some people might say yes to that.
So then does the rest of your past matter?
The logical answer would be yes.
Why?
Because if you're hung up in your feelings about something that happened in the past because you feel slighted by it, that validates feelings that somebody else might feel about the past about something.
So in this situation where they were not exclusive,
right,
and he was sleeping with other people and then they became exclusive, how is he going to have to pay for past sins now that they are exclusive? That makes no sense.
I don't know what you just asked me.
They were not exclusive with each other.
Right. So him sleeping around.
And they agreed that they were going to make it work and there was going to be the two of them moving forward.
Right.
So if he then goes monogamous and is not fucking other women, how is he going to be tried for the sins of his past when they were not exclusive? If they didn't agree to be exclusive to each other, he shouldn't be paying amends for that in the future.
That's not what you just said.
It is what I said. Maybe it didn't come across that way, but that's what I meant.
Okay. Because that's not what I answered.
No, it wasn't. It was just why I was like, that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Damn. Failed communication.
Okay. So now I'm confused.
Why are you confused? So this is how communication works, guys. This is actually what our arguments look like. What do you mean you don't understand?
I said what I said. Let's see. I don't know what you posed to me that made me answer you a question.
Well,
answer your question.
I asked that question specifically, and then I said, well, then does the past matter? Because what I meant by that is if it doesn't matter, if it matters in that situation, then it would matter to all situations.
Right, and that's what I elaborated on.
The chick that I slept with 8 years ago, before I even knew you existed,
right?
Am I going to have to pay that sin too because I have a past?
Okay, so I see the miscommunication now. So now let me elaborate on my thought. I feel really good when this shit happens.
Okay.
So what I meant was Yes, the past, all of it matters now, including her past transgressions that he's upset about.
Okay.
So she can't play the card of it's in the past, I've changed my actions, just leave it alone, because he has also done the same. What you're hung up is on your feelings. So if you're going to have your feelings, he's allowed to have his feelings.
Right. I think in both cases, the feelings are going to happen.
Right.
I think the answer to this is they have to start a clean slate and build a new foundation from that perspective. This is why you need to be very clear about what you want and date with a purpose instead of just being around people. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Continuing on.
Yes.
Okay. He held what I did during the 4 years we spent apart against me because I did not willingly share that information. I apologized for lying about it when he asked me who I've been involved with during the 4 years apart, but I told him I am not sorry for actively living a single life that he himself was also living.
I would have simply told him it's none of your business instead of lying. Yeah. But unless it was somebody in a friend circle or something that could come back to like really create problems in the relationship moving forward, when you take a break and you separate, what happens at that point is nobody's business. I believe that.
I agree with that. I want to note, good on her for saying I'm not going to feel bad for living the same single life that you were living. Right. Not playing that game. Back to the email. I reminded him that I was honest when I began to date others the first 2 times, and his response to that honesty is why I didn't feel comfortable to do it again.
So he trained her.
Right. Fast forward 4 months into the new home purchase together, I was in a very low place and regretting my decision, but had not given up yet. What is regret? Do you know the definition of regret?
Like the true Webster's Dictionary definition, Oxford
yeah.
No, but I can get it real quick.
Because you know the definition of things. You like to go down rabbit holes.
I do, because people misuse words all the time.
Right. I usually have my phone or my dictionary on me, but I don't have either right now.
The true Oxford Dictionary says, feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. That's a verb. The noun version of it is a feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointment over something that has happened or been done.
Slow down. Hang on. Slow down. I need you to read noun one more time.
It basically just said the same thing.
Okay.
A feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointment over something that has happened or been done.
Okay.
So you feel sadness over it. Disappointment.
Right. So the reason I asked that question is because she said she was in a low and regretting her decision. So did you always have regret for your decision and that led to the low?
This is why I Google words.
Or are you, fuck.
I'm hung up on this now.
Yeah, my thought's gone though.
I'm sorry. Because I heard regret, I took that as she wished she wouldn't have done that. Because that's how I view regret. Mm-hmm. But that's not what regret means.
It's a missed opportunity, feeling sad about something
right.
that's already
happened. Right, you feel sad, right. Better not have no brothers. That's a mistake. You want to read it again and maybe it'll jog your memory?
No, I'm trying to think about it. No, I'm not.
This is the problem. Where's your conductor when you need him, damn it?
Yeah.
Moment of silence for that dead thought that I murdered.
I'm trying to get it back. Yep, it's gone.
Does that help? Does it give you anxiety knowing that the timer is counting down? You have 20 seconds.
The anxiety is there, yes. Is it helping? No.
Okay. It's worth a shot.
I think the point... What's that bubbly drink? La Croix? Is that it? Carrie, is that the drink? Do you know the drink La Croix? Is that how you say it?
I think. I know what it is. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to call it La Croix. I've never had one. I've only ever seen the memes about it.
Where's the flavor yelling from the next room?
Yeah, so this is going to be the La Croix of my thought.
Okay.
I think it's important to differentiate the difference between my mental illness is leading me down irrational thoughts and I am having actual feelings about something that is triggering my mental illnesses.
And I would like to say that it's important to know what the fuck regret means. So disappointed in myself right now. That's regret. I wish I didn't do that shit. It's not the same thing.
I'm hung up on the missed opportunity of the definition of regret. Because once you miss that opportunity, it's fucking gone.
Yep. 4 things you can't get back.
And that's one of the regrets that I live with, is missed opportunities on things. I mean, I'm so grateful for the life that I have. I am fulfilled. I am happy. I mean, I struggle with my mental illnesses, but that will be a thing no matter what position I'm in my life. So, damn. I always thought I had no regrets. Now I need to work on letting go of things.
We really don't need to be recording today.
Why?
Because now you said no matter what position you're in.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
Oh!
I'm like, I'll get that mental illness out. I have exorcised the demons. Oh, fuck me.
Was it the photo shoot idea?
It was. It was.
Yeah. Are you able to refocus?
We need a really big, ornate black walnut table.
Yes.
And like 12 to 20 chairs.
I am talking like really nice, luscious greenery hanging off of the table with flowers and a massive like candle holder thingy.
It's a chandelier.
Is that? But on the table.
Okay.
And like a
Is that a candelabra?
candelabra.
Is that right? Or am
I
making
think
shit
I
up?
was going to say that,
Okay.
but I was like, I might be making that up. So now that you're saying it, I think that we're both able to say that we're not making this up.
One day we need to have a photo studio.
Yes.
If we're going to do skits, we need like actual shit set up for that anyways.
Yeah.
But new vision board item.
Yes. I want a runner on the table too, and I want it to be blood red. Yes. Maybe include blood.
Can we get back to the email, please?
Okay, back to the email. So, low place, regretting the decision, but had not given up. He is not emotional or expressive, and I am, comma, I'm adding comma, so I always share my thoughts. I woke up to a raid of the home where he was not at the time, due to barely sleeping there and staying with other women. The raid wasn't for me, it was for him.
Wow. That means the police department kicked their fucking door in.
Right. Like, no warning. I'd feel so betrayed. That would be the number one emotion I feel in that moment. Betrayal.
It was also their house. Because
Right.
they bought the house together.
Oh, yeah, true. Wait, did she say my house? Continuing on. I decided to remain silent and I went to jail for all items that they found in the home. Despite him taking full accountability at a later date, they didn't let me off of the hook and I was charged with felony possession of marijuana. I have a bachelor's degree and 10 plus years serving high risk, high need persons in the community. Holy shit.
That's because there's no such thing as an accomplice anymore. You did the crime, you did the crime. So in a situation where shit's in the house, everybody's going to jail. And everybody's getting charged. Because if there's adults in the house, the likelihood of everyone knowing about it is high. So she didn't speak to anyone. If she actually didn't say shit to anyone and she got a lawyer, she might have been able to beat that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Even still, in the court of public opinion, she's guilty.
Right.
And it'll show that arrest on her record if she's working with high risk individuals. That's a fucking problem.
Yeah. And it's really hard for people to believe that the wife didn't know.
Yeah.
You see that in a lot of criminal cases.
Wives aren't, they don't have to testify against their husbands.
Really?
Really. It's one of the benefits of being married. Legally
I didn't
married.
know that.
Yep.
Continuing on. At that moment, I knew I was giving up my life for his, but I was blinded by love. Holy shit. That's not a judgmental holy shit. That is... I can't imagine the whirlwind of all of that. Being blinded by love. I'm full-fledged picturing Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's not it. But that's exactly what I'm imagining. My mind takes it to extremes. Having lost everything, I took over his business, put it into my name, and stayed in the house managing everything. It's important to state he was all for commitment after the raid, so there was clearly some big time going on here. It's been 2.5 years of still the same stuff, other women, no commitment, lack of appreciation or consideration.
So why are you still there?
Right, I was just thinking that.
Curious what's going on with the kids, too.
Oh, I fucking forgot they had children.
Drug raid at CPS is getting involved.
Oh, yeah. 2 convicted felons in the household with that all of that going on. Yeah.
Well, does it say she was convicted?
Oh, I may have misquoted that. Let's see. I was charged with felony possession of marijuana.
Okay.
So,
But it doesn't say convicted. There's a difference
Okay.
between being charged with something and being convicted of it.
oh yeah, right. Because charges can be dropped.
Right. They could also be plead
Okay.
down to lesser charges, but the initial charge is the initial charge.
Right. So, I was listening. I was listening to Dr. Phil the other day. I know a lot of people shit on Dr. Phil and have issues with Dr. Phil.
That's crazy because they didn't until he announced, actually came out as a conservative.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
there was discourse around him before then.
Really?
Yeah. I don't believe he's actively licensed as a psychologist, and people pick that apart. Normal internet chronic online shit.
Wait, so if he let his license lapse, does that somehow
Negate
erase
the
all of the
knowledge.
knowledge he had? Right.
And experience and time in court and
Right.
all of that, yeah. And
I really truly hate people.
I know. And even there are times when Dr. Phil says something on stage and I was like, homie, I can tell you're frustrated. You need to take a deep breath. That wasn't the move. But he said something and I wholeheartedly agree with it. And I am paraphrasing. If you want the direct Dr. Phil quote, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. But he says something along the lines of, at a certain point, you are enabling your abuser.
Absolutely.
Once you are able to recognize the red flags, recognize that they are abusing you, and you recognize that there is a way out, and you choose to stay because it's more comfortable for you to be there because you love them, because those are making excuses for you to stay in the situation where you know you are actively being abused.
It's almost like they're making a choice. Crazy. If only if there was a podcast that talked about choice theory heavily for
Right.
years.
Living for 2.5 years through that same thing over and over again, I could not. Every damn day waking up, knowing it's going to be the same level or lower. And that the way that I just said that's crazy is
Wow.
no, it's that crazy was soaked in heartache and sadness and slight pity.
Regret.
And that might sound that might sound shitty for me to say that there is slight pity in there. But that's the truth from my perspective. I don't know how else to help somebody view their own life in a way that they can control it. 2.5 years. We've had emails of people staying in the same situation for 10 years knowing it's not going to get any better.
Right.
But they were comfortable in it.
Yep. People won't leave until how's the phrase go? Until the discomfort that they're living in is worse than the discomfort of the change that they have to go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Continuing on.
Yes.
I told him I want out. I will sign my name off the home with nothing in return, close the LLC after I file the 2 years of self-employment taxes, and be on my way once I land full-time employment. He agreed and decided right then and there he would push to be with another woman. I took some time to myself. I got a part-time job caring for an elderly couple while I search for full-time employment. I have found affordable housing that will be ready soon. I just got a job offer for the job I want in the field I used to work in, thank goodness, and I am almost ready to leave.
Okay, good.
I want to take a second and note the effort she's putting into getting herself out of a bad situation. We have received so many emails. There's no help for me. There's no resources. Have you looked? Have you tried? We don't know how long it's taken her to do this process. It could have taken 3 months. This could have taken her a year.
Could have taken her the full 2.5 years.
Right, to get the housing light up.
But she did it.
The jobs. She took the part-time job before she found the full-time job just to get the cash flow going.
Right. Just baby steps.
If you want it, you're going to fucking do it.
Yep.
Continuing on. I am absolutely terrified. I don't even know if I can properly explain it, but why do I feel so terrified to leave?
Fear of the unknown.
I agree with that. I had a thought today. When I have a hard time in life, I'm in fight or flight. Like I am now able to recognize when I'm entering into fight or flight, I am in fight or flight, and I'm coming out of it. And I'm starting to really like hone in that scope on myself. Once you are used to abusive chaos, leaving that feels like you are breaking every fucking rule in the rule book. And when I broke that first rule in the rule book, I was an adult, but mentally, I was a 7-year-old breaking that rule.
Yep.
And 7-year-old me was fucking terrified. And that's where that fight or flight came from. I don't believe the human experience is linear. Right? Time is linear. It goes one way, you can't go back. The human experience is not. I believe it's on multiple wavelengths. The fact that we can experience a moment that happened 25 years ago as an adult and have fight or flight kick in and you're terrified of the repercussions and it's like it happened yesterday of your parent berating you or whomever it was that instilled that survival reaction out of you.
Speaks to training.
It's a lot.
This thank you, Carrie, for both hitting the button and bringing the groceries in. This speaks to the fear of the darkness in everyone. It is the fear of the unknown. You start having all kinds of what ifs in the darkness, and what was just a normal little stroll now has you fucking panicked, heart racing, thinking there's a Yeti behind you in the middle of the woods. Like we do that to ourselves through our entire existence. The fear of, oh no, what if I can control my situation right now, and even though I'm not happy, I'm safe.
Right.
I'm comfortable in this. I'm navigating the things that are coming. What happens if I sail into a storm? Like that fear of the unknown makes a lot of people freeze up. And that's what that is to me. Mm-hmm. It's the fear of the unknown.
Continuing on.
Yes.
Is it because I'm closing a very big chapter in my life? Why do I feel any remorse for leaving him while he is incarcerated, forcing him to figure out his business and or close it, etc.? Why are you smiling at me?
Because I hear her feet running back and forth across the tile to press buttons.
I can hear Lilo's behind her.
Leaving him while he's incarcerated sucks.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be fucking doing dirty shit.
He did that to himself.
Right. Consequences for your actions. Mm-hmm. You can't treat people poorly and expect them to want to be around.
Yeah.
So.
What if scenarios of our life, right?
Okay.
You get incarcerated for moving the nose sugar. And I don't know about it, right? You have a whole side gig going on and I'm out of the loop. And you get incarcerated. That would be a very hard thing for me to like, I'm going to visit you. Everything's going to be okay. You lied to me. If you get incarcerated because you're defending me or some dude's getting ready to attack Ivy, I'm behind you every damn day. Get weekend conjugal visits. Can I come spend the night? Like, there is a certain level of I can accept that this happened because of this reason.
Right. Yeah, that whole situation's shitty. Some people out there are just shitty people.
Yes. And they are okay with being shitty people. Continuing on.
Yes.
I feel like I gave it my all and more than anyone should ever have to, and that me leaving now while he is away physically is the best decision for me.
I agree.
I concur. I mean, when you really think about it in abusive situations, this is the ideal situation.
Right.
He's incarcerated. There's no worry he's going to come home from work early or he's going to find you on the weekend.
How is he already trying to talk to other women? Bitch, you're in jail. Like, oh, will you be my pen pal?
I'm getting that pen pal little.
Will you put some money on my canteen? I love you, girl.
Can I get some peanut butter? I believe that it's very insecure, mentally broken women who fall for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have watched too many, like, all TV, I believe, is fake to some extent. I have watched prison shows where dude inmates are talking about how they're writing 15 girls on the outside of the prison. And then there was this one prison where it housed men and women, but like on different wings of the prison, but they would cross paths in the hallway. And this one dude was like, yeah, I'm dating 10 bitches in here. But none of them knew about it. And then once all the women started finding out, they started lighting him up through the toilet system. It's crazy.
You know
to
why
see
they call it the toilet system?
Because they can pass the notes and whatnot, right?
Not through the toilets.
They were, because
Were
they
they?
were multiple tiers. Yeah, they would get all the water out of it
Oh, and drop it down.
and drop
Okay.
notes. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? And now they just have phones too. So
Yeah.
seeing a lot of
Cell
prison.
phones are contraband.
I'm seeing a lot of prison TikToks show up.
That's wild.
Yeah. I believe it's contraband because a lot of those TikToks have been banned or deleted.
Yeah.
Or no activity on them. It's funny. It's not funny. Just the whole premise of us having internet as human beings is funny to me. And the yearn for it, like goats wanting to lick salt. The fact that humans crave the validation of being on the internet. That they would go to the lengths to have contraband in prison just to get back on TikTok.
Yep. It's control.
That's crazy.
It's all
Crazy
mind
daisy.
control.
I got side railed. All right, continuing on. I feel like I gave it my all and way more than anyone should ever have to, and that me leaving now while he is away is the best option for me. I am basically open to all thoughts and opinions. I can take all the criticism. I know I have participated in the toxic cycle by staying over and over again, and I am not the victim because of that, and I know I allowed myself to be put in a situation that cost me everything I worked hard for in life, at least temporarily. Deep down, I know this is what is right for me. I just need an unbiased outside opinion. Thank you in advance for anything you can offer me, and if you cannot, I still love you too and appreciate you both so very much as you played a huge role in my healing journey. There's an update, but do you have any final thoughts before we move on to that?
You should never have to apologize for chasing your fucking peace and happiness. I don't care what relationship you're in. If you're unhappy, this is your life. You get one fucking shot at it. That's it.
And
when
people are
it's-
going to talk shit.
Let them.
I'm just saying, people are going to be pissed off. His friends, his family might come at you.
And they can. At the end of your life, when you're looking at your life and you've wasted 15 to 20 years in a scenario that's not healthy for you,
Right.
that's 20 years of your, 80? If you're lucky?
And it's linear.
So 1/4 of your life is fucking gone? Mm-hmm. Those people don't have to live with those regrets.
Yeah, I was going to say that's where that regret comes in, that 20 years of missed opportunity.
You do. If you don't have a relationship that's feeding you and nurturing you and the person's not willing to like meet you in the middle and you both come back together and like heal, move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Yep.
On to the update.
Yes.
So this update is from June of this year.
Okay, so 2 months ago.
Well, after the job offer I received, despite me being fully transparent about my new felony, decided to rescind their offer when my background check came back. I spiraled back into a depression, and in the same week, the person he set up to take over the LLC quit, so I am now still operating the LLC, which means I cannot begin my life, because that would mean there is nobody to leave the business to and I cannot gain full employment, nor will I, while this LLC is my responsibility still.
That's a choice.
That is a choice.
This is not your LLC. This LLC is going to go to someone else. Close the business and move on. This is not a you problem.
Right.
You guys were working things out and we're going to do shit, and you guys decided that it wasn't going to work anymore. You're not gaining anything from that business being open. So unless it's a paycheck and you need that paycheck,
I'd close it.
I would be like, hey, you got till Friday to find somebody to run this business, or Monday morning I'm going to go and fucking shut this bitch down.
Yep. Correct. Continuing on, I have made myself clear I do not want to do this. He tries to tell me that I can just leave, but he knows the LLC cares for animals in which I cannot leave without someone moving in and taking over my full responsibility. Nor do I want my name attached to the home in case, God forbid, who replaces me doesn't fulfill their job requirements. So the solution is you find someone to replace you.
Yeah, or you find a different shelter for the animals.
There's so many different solutions.
There's
here.
a lot of solutions. She just doesn't want to do it.
Right. Homie's incarcerated. From my understanding, they don't have unlimited access to phone calls.
Well, depending on your camp where you're at, yeah, you just collect calls.
Yeah.
But you can, you also get charged for emails and shit. But you can make phone calls.
Don't you have to have money for that?
You collect call. You can get a phone card too, but you collect call.
Yeah. See, from my understanding, I've seen the call cards.
Yeah.
And people asking for digits and shit.
It's been a long time since I've been locked up.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works now. When I was locked up, you couldn't send emails. Everything was, handwritten letters and stamps.
Yeah.
It's been a long fucking time. So I don't know how that works anymore. They could have phone cards. They could have, I don't know how that works. Could be a money on your canteen kind of thing, and the prison could charge you for it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter though.
Right.
Shit don't matter.
So I read the next sentence, and this is the first time I agree with this dude.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
He knows this, but he says it. He knows this, but he says it as if I'm keeping myself here, which is just insane to me.
No, you are keeping yourself there. I agree with
100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Continuing on, basically, there is no resolution to this at this time, it seems. I want absolutely nothing to do with him. Unfortunately, share a house and a child together, and I was doing way too much for someone that wasn't doing shit for me. It is what is it. It is what it is. I'm a stronger person because of all of this. I just want clarity that I'm not delusional and just dealing with a true narcissist and need to continue to push to escape. Yeah, you running this LLC and being miserable and being upset that there isn't somebody to take over at this point is on you.
If this LLC is generating revenue, you need to take ownership of the LLC. If he's got 6 years in or however long he's got to do, you tell him that you're going to take ownership of the LLC. He can sign it over to you, give you 80 or 90% of the shares or whatever. Make this your business and run this business to make money. And when he gets out, he can buy it back from you if you decide to do that. You have so many options. This is a choice. She's choosing to do this.
Right.
Because it's a reason for her not to move on with her life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is what she stated she was scared to do in the beginning.
Right. And she's making excuses.
Right.
That's exactly what that is. Nobody said it was going to be easy,
No,
but it's doable.
definitely. Next one.
Yeah.
This email is titled, Just Need Help. There's an update included. And the themes include husband lacking work, drive, and ambition.
Oh, I hate these. These are the hardest for me.
Yeah.
I have to really fucking woo-saw the shit out of myself when you read the workless men emails.
Oh, yeah.
It bothers me. At a core level, just drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the women who play victim.
Yeah. Have a real deep-seated animosity towards,
Workless.
yeah, little boys.
Moochers.
Little boys. Oh, I'm 30 years old. I work part-time. Oh, do you? How's that working out for you? I'm gonna stop right there because, yeah, I'm not gonna get amped up today, guys. I'm gonna woo-saw the shit out of myself.
I'm going to find another email.
No, you can read it. You can read it. It's been a while since
Yeah.
it's been a while
Since I've gone and fucked things up.
Today may be the day.
I'm gonna recross my legs for this.
I've been having to fidget quite a bit during this podcast because it hurts to have my leg up.
Oh, really?
And then it eventually starts to hurt having my leg down. That sciatic nerve pinch is a motherfucker.
Man. I think I'm getting sympathy pains in my butt on my right side.
Yeah, same side.
I feel it on my hip into my lower back. It's like rounded up onto the butt cheek into my back. Is that where it's at on you?
It's higher, but yeah. And it
I would say,
shoots all
like-
the way down to the back of my knee when I walk.
Really?
It is not fun.
All right, continuing on. Oh, well, we haven't even started. Good afternoon. I need advice if I am expecting too much of my husband. I know this is a me issue and I'm trying to get better, but I feel like my husband is not meeting me halfway. I know finances are a major topic that most couples fight about. I'm trying to get better at just ignoring my husband's lack of ambition.
Finances are actually the leading cause of divorce
Yes.
by a lot. Yeah. It's like something 60 something percent. The next thing is like 25 to 30%. So it's not even fucking close.
Yeah, isn't like cheating or infidelity the third thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I'm trying to get better at just ignoring my husband's lack of ambition, but I don't know how, and this is where I need your help.
Ignoring it is enabling it. So
It
let's
is.
just call it what it is.
You want to enable his lack of ambition.
Yeah. That's accepting less
Yeah,
than.
I'm reading that again. And I'm like, girl, that is not what we do here. I'm trying to get better at just ignoring my husband's lack of ambition. I don't know how, and this is where I need your help. I am not going to help you
Ignore his lack of ambition.
ignore his lack of ambition. I'm about to challenge the fuck out of you. That's what's about to happen.
She may be the one that lights up today, guys.
We're not going to be stagnant water. And this challenge might be you might have to reevaluate this relationship with your man. You might have to be a gentle reminder for your man. Being with somebody, they say husband, yes. Oh, well, they're about to. I'm reading it. When you marry somebody, you become one with that person. And just like you are not harsh with yourself when you forget to do something, why would you be harsh to them?
Some people are pretty harsh on themselves. We've had full on
know.
episodes about that. And that could be a part of the problem. We don't know yet, but that could be part of the problem. This in the enabling aspect of it is also a huge part of the problem.
Yeah.
I only say that the being hard on yourself is because there's things that I'm super fucking hard on myself about, and like I've
Yeah.
gotten better about it because of you. Like, rephrase that. Like, we ain't no negative self-talk today. Like, and that's changed a lot of that, but it's also changed the things that I'm willing to accept about myself as well. So that speaks to self-worth and having a good partner. And if this email is going to be about her trying to do for her man, ignoring this is not doing a service to their marriage at all.
Right. That was the point that I was trying to get at.
Oh, we were on the same page then.
Yes. Continuing on, I am a 30-year-old female and my husband is a 32-year-old male. We have been together for 7 years. Before we got married, we talked about kids. I did not want any, but we settled on one and he is our blessing. One thing I never wanted to be was a stay-at-home mom. Okay, I'm already seeing a repetitive theme. I didn't want to have kids, but now we have a kid. One thing I never wanted to be was a stay-at-home mom, and I feel like this is amping up to say I am now a stay-at-home mom.
Right. Well, how is she a stay-at-home mom with a man who don't work?
Oh, that's a good question.
You're living off the charity of others.
Maybe.
Is that how that's going? Is this what we're doing today?
Maybe. Let's see. Do you want me to come kiss your forehead, babe? Mm-mm. One thing I never wanted was to be a stay-at-home mom. I love work and I control finances, and it's hard when you don't know what's coming in and how many hours need to be worked to make ends meet. I am a stay-at-home mom now, and I am still in charge of finances, but I never know what my husband's hours are. I have even tried to count my husband's hours when he leaves, and has always been way off. I have always been financially responsible for the most part.
Wait.
Okay, what are you going to say first?
If she's counting the hours that he's working and she's way off, it means he's not working what he says he's working. So there's something happening while the time he leaves till the time he comes home that's not true.
Right.
So he's either going to the bar or he's going to his boy's house or he's not working or whatever the case may be. And that sounds like he's lying to his wife saying, I'm going to work just so that he can get the fuck away from her.
Right.
Like, how can you be in a union with somebody trying to do life thing as a team and not have a teammate?
Right.
I don't understand how you can live in that position.
Baffles me.
How can you not know your schedule? Right? Like even in a job where your schedule changes from week to week, that shit is posted the week before. Mm-hmm. It's never day of. You don't call your job every day unless you're doing day labor and be like, you need me today, boss? No, okay. Need me today, boss? 2:00? Okay, I'll be there. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, she said I even tried to count my husband's hours.
Right.
Okay.
And she's way off.
So he's not providing a schedule at all. She's just guesstimating.
Right, based off of when he's leaving and coming home. Which means he's not doing what he says. He's lying.
Right, he's lying. I have always been financially responsible for the most part. I dropped out of high school during the recession to help my parents keep our home, and I've always loved to work, sometimes having 3 jobs at once. My husband, on the other hand, doesn't care much about work. He kept the same job until about 3 years ago, but never asked for a raise and was only making it by because he still lived with his parents. And when we finally did move in together, I was doing 14-hour days and was the breadwinner.
Why the fuck would you be with a man who does that shit?
He saw an opportunity and took it. He really did. Girls out here working 3 jobs. Girl, you love working? Word. We need to be matching ambition levels or higher.
Dating your tax bracket.
Right.
And I hate, that's a horrible thing to say. But like, if I was a woman and I met a man and he was like, I live at home with my parents, unless your parents are like medical need for you to be there, you a little boy still.
Right.
Did your mommy do wash your underwear for you too? Like, come on, bro. I have a hard time with that shit. I understand that it's medically necessary in some scenarios. I understand that in some cases people live in the same house just because it's easier than trying to go and pay $2,000 a month in rent. But you being there because it's easy versus you being there for a reason are two very different things.
Continuing on. Now he got a better job and makes more than me, but brings home less than I do.
She's a stay-at-home mom. She ain't bringing home nothing.
Well, she said to avoid the stay-at-home... This is in red. This is probably from one of the wizards. To avoid the stay-at-home mom confusion, she works from home.
So she's not a stay-at-home mom. She has a job that she works from the house.
She works from home.
Because I mean, you're not a stay-at-home mom.
Right. That first sentence doesn't make sense to me. Now he got a better job. So I'm going to rephrase this sentence a little bit. Now he has a better paying job and he makes more than me, but brings home less than I do. I don't understand that.
The only way that that would work is if it put him in another tax bracket and the taxes that he's making drops his bring home.
Okay.
If they're working 40 hours a week and he's making more money, there are tax brackets that affects how much you bring in. And for some people, it's not worth it to take a raise and go higher up in a company because their bring home is going to be less. That's a very real thing for people who make a lot of money, 6 figures and up, because your tax brackets change. But I don't think that's the case in this email because she said he doesn't have ambition.
Right. Continuing on.
Yep.
For context, I make $20.48 an hour, and my husband makes $25 an hour, unless he is on a fire where he makes $300 a day. My husband has been working at his current job for 2 years. He refuses to ask for a raise, even though he is running one of their yards. He doesn't want to ask due to it being his friend's business. He said there was no point when fire season. He said there was no point when fire season could possibly get put on a fire. What? I'm just going to read this sentence verbatim. He said there was no point when fire season he could possibly get put on a fire. It's not guaranteed, but he acts like it is.
So what that means is that there's no point in asking for an hourly raise if he's only going to make $300 a day when he's doing firework. If you ask for a raise, you ask for a raise to both. Mm-hmm. Hey, I've been here for 2 years. I'm basically running one of your businesses for you. I need to make more money. I make 25 now. I want 30 an hour. You can negotiate down from there if you need to, but on the days that there's fires, I want 400 a day instead of 300.
Right.
You negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's your friend's business or not. Your friend is the one that's making all the profit, not you. You're there to do a job. If you're doing your fucking job, ask for more money.
Yep.
Especially if you're running crews and not getting paid for it. Sounds to me like he's very comfortable in his life and doesn't see a need for change.
Or confrontation.
If this man is capable of running this dude's business for him and is handling a yard, whatever the fuck that means, logic would say that he is capable of running this business and actually starting a business. If he was an ambitious man and she has the smarts that she has, she can run the administrative side of things while he runs the business. They can hire people and divvy out profits where necessary and actually change their lives. I don't understand why people don't think that way.
Oh, I don't know. Back to the email. Also, since his running the yard, he's been told he can work 8-hour days. We talked about it multiple times, but he comes home at the 5 to 6 hour mark. I told him repeatedly that I need him to do 80 hours as cost of living has gone up.
A week?
80 hours a week?
Or is it maybe if he's a biweekly pay, I could see 80 hours. But to demand that your man works 80 hours a week, why don't you demand that he finds a higher paying job instead of making that man kill himself for you?
Holy shit.
And I'm not saying that it's bad to work 80 hours a week. I've done that job. I've had jobs where I've worked 80 hours a week and I made a lot of fucking money doing it. But it takes its toll on you. It takes its toll on on your family. Like, you miss events. It's a very hard thing to do.
So I read ahead a little bit and she clarifies that it's 80 hours every 2 weeks.
Yeah, so biweekly.
Okay.
Asking somebody to work a 40-hour work week is not an ask. That's an adult.
That's
Full-time.
expectation.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that you should be working 40 to 55 hours a week.
Yeah.
I'm very big on a 6-day work week. That's just me, though. I understand that most people aren't like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm not like that.
I know. I don't do well with downtime. Like, just the days that we just sit at home and do absolutely nothing after like 3 hours, I'm fucking antsy. And like, I try to start finding things to occupy my brain. I don't do well with downtime.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to navigate sometimes because you also don't want to leave the house.
I know. I know. I live in here. Fucking meat suit. It's betrayal.
Yeah. Continue on.
Yeah.
I work as well, just from home since our son is autistic and we don't have a lot of options in our area for him. I put in overtime every paycheck just to ensure I can cover most bills. I am lucky my parents retired into their other home and are letting us just pay their mortgage as my rent, and we pay utilities. We live in California, so we spend $2,000 in-house and utilities, which is a blessing. I am just getting frustrated because we've talked. He said once the new year hit, he would do 80 hours and put more effort in as I am spread thin. But he just called me and said he doesn't want to work 80 hours and instead moved it to 70 hours every 2 weeks. I am frustrated that I am working 80 plus hours every 2 weeks. I do 65% of the parenting as my son has school 3 hours a day.
Hold on. If he's working 5 to 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's what, 30 hours a week? So he's literally only going to work 5 extra hours, 1 hour extra every day. That's if he's working the minimum of 5. If he's working 6, that's 36. So if he's doing 6 hours both weeks, he's over 70 hours. So what was he negotiating?
Right.
Is he already actually not working 70 hours and lying about the hours that he's putting in? That doesn't add up. That math isn't right.
Math isn't mathing. Continuing.
I'm going to read the chat for a second, and I do not want this cut. Zach said, I really wish people would specify about autistic children. There is a big range of behaviors that can be exhibited by autistic children.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Because when I think I have to be a stay-at-home mom because of autism, I think of Angie and Jeff Graham.
Right, me
because
too.
J3 needs somebody to be there.
He needs a caregiver.
But I know a whole lot of people who are autistic that are perfectly fine by themselves as long as they have a routine, right? They can go to school. They can do all the normal shit. We had a whole bunch of them in a cabin over, a week ago.
And we did fantastic.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So, right. Okay. I want to leave that in so that when people send emails about autistic children, if they're nonverbal or high, not high functioning, leave the level of
Right.
autism so we're aware.
Yeah. My son has school 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and he does sleep. Do you mean doesn't sleep? Because I don't know why you would include that. I manage the inside of my house by myself. I take care of my older sister's son. I clean up after the kids, my husband, and older sister. Okay, so I'm going to pause. Your older sister and her son is not your husband's problem.
Nope, not at all. It's not
So-
yours either.
Right, I agree with that. So you taking that on has, like, any resentment towards your husband is illogical.
Right,
That was a choice that you made based on the bond that you have with your sister and wanting to help her.
right.
Just to clarify that, I'm not saying she's implying that. That's just something that stood out to me. I would not be cleaning up after my older sister.
Nope.
I would not. You can live in your pigsty mess. I am so comfortable with looking at a mess knowing that somebody else created it
And leaving it.
and leaving it. I'm not doing that. I mean, if it's food, I'm going to pick up food.
I wonder if they live with them.
Maybe
And
because
if
they're
that's,
living in.
if that's the case, why aren't they helping?
Yeah.
2000 split 3 ways is a whole lot different than the split 2. Yeah. I would like to, before you move on, for everybody that's listening right now, we do our YouTube, we do our podcast live on Patreon. So if you're not a member of our Patreon community, it's something you should check out. We do live episodes every time we record a podcast now. We have extra bonus content all the time over there, early release content when it happens.
We have live recordings of my garden segment.
Yeah, the Discord. There's a whole bunch of things that comes along with joining our Patreon that adds value to your life, and I highly recommend that you check it out. And as much as I hate to try to sell you on something, you should go over there and at least look. Patreon.com/to-be-better.
Yes.
Okay.
Continuing on, I am also doing and finding people to help remodel my parents' house per my parents' request. I am putting everything I have and only sleeping for 4 hours. On occasion, I might get 6 hours. I am tired and my temper is getting worse. Please help. I am about to snap. I cry in the shower. The last 2 weeks, I have been going days without sleeping because there's too much to get done, and the only time I have to do it is when I sleep.
What do you expect us to do for you?
I was just thinking, like, how am I supposed to help you?
Right. Like,
I don't see a question posed.
there's no to the bat cave. Dun, dun, dun. Like, there's none of that. We can't do this for you. I can tell you right now that the life that you're living is not a life that I would want to fucking live.
I agree with that.
And as a man, if I was a woman, I wouldn't want a man that doesn't have ambition. I want things in life. You want things in life. And in order for us to have those things, we have to fucking work for it. Nobody's going to give it to you, and no one's coming to save you. We've been saying that for over a year now. Like, if you guys want change, you have to affect change. And if you need sleep. They
Right.
say that less than 3% of the world's population can operate on 4 hours of sleep or less. That's a very, very small percentage of people when you look at it. And I'm capable of doing that. But after 7 or 8 months of it, like I hit a wall. And then I'll sleep for like fucking 18 hours. And then I'll wake up refreshed and then I'll be groggy for a week or two and I can get back to that. But as I've gotten older, that's not the case anymore. Like I'm sleeping 5 to 6 hours every single night, no matter what now. If I had to give up that time, it would stress our relationship because I would start to get psychotic. I don't believe that she's not. She's getting irritable. She's sleep deprived, dealing with an autistic child while he's doing what? If he's only working 5 or 6 hours a day, how do you not have help at home?
Right.
What does the other 20 hours of his day look like? 18 hours of his day on an actual work day. You need to make a list of everything that you do throughout the day and then slide it across the table to him and be like, this is my daily structure. I need you to take half of this off of my shoulders and let him pick whatever he wants to pick off that list, but make sure that it's divided equally because that's half of the shit that you no longer have to do. And be like, here's how this is going to work. You can either go back to work and work 80 to 90, 100 hours every 2 weeks to reduce some of the stress that I have in my life, or take over all this shit.
Ivy got her lovins and she lay back down. And she's like, I'm happy now. she's content for us to continue.
I don't remember where we were going before that phone call came
No,
through,
I have
but
no clue.
this is
You were talking about taking some of this load off my shoulders.
right.
Making a list.
This is the relationship aspect of things. This is the bond that we have between each other. If you don't love me enough to see that I'm fucking struggling and going through what I'm going through and I'm doing it by my fucking self, this is a problem. Are you that selfish that you want to watch me suffer knowing that I'm not sleeping and I'm the only one taking care of our son to make sure that we have the life that we have? Mm-hmm. You're working less than 40 hours a week. You're doing absolutely zero while you're at home. If I have to suffer and be alone, I can suffer and be alone. That's the conversation that I would have.
Yep.
And that's not a threat. I'm letting you know that I'm choosing to be here and I need you to step the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Continuing on, I appreciate my husband. He does the outside so I don't have to. He treats our son like the little prince he is. He's on board teaching him how to respect women.
How does that look? How does that look? How is he teaching him to respect women when you are dying inside, you're not sleeping, you're sleep deprived, and you're having fucking problems in your life because of it? Where's the respect? You lead by example, not by word.
Right.
Where's your actions? How is he teaching your son to be respectful? Is he just saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am? Right. That's manners. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
I wonder how much of this is just her painting a negative image of her husband as someone to take something to take her frustrations out on in her mind. Because in reality, this man's working 5 to 6 hours a day, like you said. That's what, 3 or 4 hours shy of the 40-hour work week that she's looking for.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, is she nitpicking just to nitpick?
Well, I mean, that's still technically full time. If he's working 6 hours a day, I believe in the state of Florida, 36 hours is considered full time. I don't know if it's different everywhere else, but
yeah.
The issue that I have in all of this is we don't know if that's actually what he's working, because she said he comes home after 5 or 6 hours, and she doesn't know how to track his hours. So is he actually working 5 or 6 hours, or is that just when he's coming home? Because that wasn't specified.
Oh, right. Like the time that he's gone,
right,
from the time he leaves to the time he comes home, if that's 5 hours and it's a 45-minute drive to work.
Right.
Yeah.
The biggest question in all of this is, if this was your daughter, would you want your daughter to date a man that is your husband?
Yeah.
And that's how I'm viewing this. If this was our daughter and this was what was going on and this was the life she was living, I would tell her this isn't the one.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Continue on.
Yep.
I believe my husband is a good egg, but it is just in this one area, which is to me is so important. And then here is an update that was sent July 18th. Good morning. I am really considering leaving my husband.
Wait.
Okay.
She believes her husband is a good egg, and the only thing that she's hung up on is that he's not willing to work 40 hours.
Yes.
That's not what she said in the email. She said she's sleep deprived. She's the one taking care of everything. She's a stay-at-home with an autistic son. She's taking care of her sister and their kid.
Parenting.
Did she actually say 65%
She said
of parenting?
65%.
I didn't hear that part of the email.
Yeah, because she said 65%, and I was like, how did you math that? I thought that.
Okay. So maybe this is a scenario where she's nitpicking her husband. 4 hours a week is not going to make that big of a difference, especially after taxes. He's going to work those extra 4 hours and bring home, an extra $35 a week?
Right.
You can get a side hustle and make more money than that. So I think maybe you're right. Maybe this is nitpicky. Maybe the sister and the sister's kid being there is part of the fucking problem, and it's disrupting the home.
Yeah.
Because she's now having 2 other people she's got to take care of instead of just our autistic son. And she did say that he does all the outside shit. So if he's doing the outside shit and he's doing blue job, pink jobs, the only issue that I see there is that she's also working a full-time job from home.
Right.
And he should be picking up some of the extra shit that he can to give her a fucking break. What that looks like, I don't know. Maybe he cleans the bathroom and the fucking kitchen every week or cooks dinner.
Yeah.
Something to aid if that's what she needs. But she needs to be able to articulate exactly what it is that she fucking needs, and he needs to want to help.
Right. I agree.
Okay. Now she's talking about leaving him. It's got to be more than he doesn't work 48 hours a week. This email is contradicting itself.
Yeah, let's see. My husband turned down 2 jobs that would change our financial status, as well as me being able to focus on my son's therapy, doctor's appointments, and maintaining the home. I had a calm conversation with him, and he said that loyalty is important to him. He doesn't want to give up certain things that this job gives him. His reasons: he gets weekends away to unwind, he gets to experience new jobs, and he gets to party every year for 3 weeks in the desert with no reception. That's why he doesn't want to leave the job.
Well, I mean, if that's a 3-week paid vacation, that's a hell of a perk.
Right.
If he's getting the weekends off, and that's, you know, the other jobs are going to require him to work Saturday and Sunday, that's a sacrifice.
It is a sacrifice.
If she's homeschooling the kid and she's working from home, it doesn't matter if he gets Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those 3 days off are those 3 days off. Mm-hmm. The only difference would be if his friends don't get those same days off and he needs that social time. But we don't know any of that because this is her nitpicking him and not his this is what's going on.
Right. That social time is important. If we had to just suddenly end Friday nights D&Ds, you'd be devastated.
I would be.
Right. That's a massive life change, and that's a reprieve for you.
Right.
So if that's something where he's able to go out on Saturday nights and watch football with his buddies, and he has to give that up now because he has to go work to do whatever. This is, okay, where are you going to place your value at?
Right. Well, this comes down to what's more important, your game time or
Yeah.
your family.
Well, that's what I meant by value.
Right. If I had to give up D&D to make sure that we were okay, D&D is gone.
Right.
I'll find a game that I can play that everybody's British, and we play late at night on Wednesday. That's their daytime, right? Like there's
Right.
ways around that shit. This is a priority thing. My family means more to me than a game. My family means more to me than my Call of Duty time. It means
Yeah.
more to me than drinking. Like it's a priority. The self-care thing and the 3 weeks off in the desert, like if he's getting paid time off, that matters because he's going to take a pay decrease. Like he's not going to get a vacation time. But he said the loyalty matters. Maybe the loyalty is to the friend. And then the money aspect of it, I think it's more than that. I think that he's got a lot of freedoms at his job that he would lose. He's probably able to come and go as he pleases and schedule his own days. Like his boss told him he could work 8 hours. And if he's okay with him leaving 5 and 6 hours every day, like that changes things quite a bit.
So this would be a question of, are you okay with the standard of life?
Right. I would also like to point out that I was doing that based off of my math earlier. My 6-day work week, not a 5-day work week. On a 5-day work week, it changes the hours. He's only working 25 to 30 hours. He's working part-time.
Oh.
It just clicked in my brain as I was speaking to you because my work weeks have always been 6 days. I've never had a 5-day work week ever in my life. So at 5 to 6 hours, 6 days a week is how I was doing that math. So my math wasn't mathing.
Okay.
And I'm correcting that right now on the podcast. I fucked up by saying that. So the math really doesn't fucking add up there. So if he's working 5 days a week at 5 to 6 hours a day, he's working 25 to 30 hours at most. So on a full 2 weeks, he's working up to 20 hours less, not 10 or 5. You know what I mean? So he is part-time.
Okay.
So that changes everything quite a bit. He's a part-time fucking employee. This is cognitive bias in real life,
right.
guys, just so you all know.
But he said that he was willing to push it to 70 hours a week. He doesn't want to do 80 hours.
Right, but it's still an extra hour every day on the 2 weeks. Because that would put him to 70 hours from 60.
Right.
If he's doing 6 hours 5 days a week, that puts him at what? 30 hours a week.
Hang
That
on.
puts him to 60.
Everybody-
He would only have to work an extra hour a day.
Pause. Yes. Because she wanted the 80 hours every 2 weeks.
Right.
So it would be an additional 5 hours every week.
Which is an hour a day.
Yeah.
He's not sacrificing shit at that point. Really, you're only going to work an extra hour a day? Is it going to really fucking kill you to pick up 2 hours extra a day? Why not just work the 8 hours?
I would knock it all out in one day.
I would too.
Like, go home early the rest of the week,
I would just work Saturdays.
all day.
It's 5-6 hours. You don't have to, you can keep your short days. It's still the extra 5 to 6 hours a week that you need to hit the numbers that she wants you to hit.
Right.
I don't know. I've had jobs where I put in 15 to 18 hour days consistently for months on end. You do what you have to do to make ends meet.
Yep.
Sometimes that means you're fucking breaking your back, dying, not wanting to work, and you're miserable as fucking life. But you do that until you can find something better. I don't know. Really glad that I caught my math on that, because there'd be people in the comments going, oh, his math, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Oh, that's already done because that was like 20-minute ago conversation.
Right. Well, they can go back and delete that shit now.
Okay.
Accountability. What you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm thinking because that changes the math in my head too. If he's only working 25 to 30 hours a week, is he really not doing anything inside of the house? Is he really not doing anything inside of the house? That he does
should be.
outside work.
Right. But what is that, once a week?
Right. Like,
When you
well,
cut
what
the
does that
grass?
look like?
In the summer or spring? Because you ain't doing it in the fall and the winter.
We need you guys to elaborate on what that looks like in the household. Does he come home and play video games until 9 o'clock at night?
Right.
She said he's a good dad. Well, you said that he only does 25%?
45%.
45%? See, this is why I didn't catch your math earlier.
35%.
35%?
She said he did 65, so it's 35%.
We're close.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I think that he should definitely have more drive to want to provide financially for the family. I also feel like there's a lot of nitpicking going on because there's not an elaboration on the actual situations. It's just...
Money. This whole thing comes down to money.
Right. Or her feelings about it.
Right.
Or her struggles in it.
Right. She wants him to make... See, but that's bullshit, though, because it wasn't just about money. It was also about the house chores and how she's not sleeping and she's taking care of her sister and her sister's kid. Like,
Right. There's
so a lot of this isn't the husband's problem. Mm-hmm. If the sister and the sister's kid wasn't there, are you feeding them? Are you supporting them because you're cleaning up
that's a
after
good
them?
question.
Because if that's the case, you're now feeding two other mouths. Like,
Yeah.
details matter.
Yeah, and you know what? If that increase is to help provide for them, I would have an issue with that too. That's a good question because she did say cost, like things have gone up.
Yep.
She said cost of living went up. Do you mean inflation or your sister and her child moving in?
Cost of living has gone up for everybody.
It has, yeah. But I think that clarification from her would have been nice. Continuing on.
Yes.
The first job he turned down was in construction, and it would have been $50 an hour. He turned it down, and I didn't say anything about it.
I would have said something about it. That's double what he's making now.
Right.
Double. And he would have to work the 40 hours a week or more because construction, you work until the boss tells you to go home. Mm-hmm. But if he's working 40 hours a week at $50 an hour, that's life-changing money for them. That's a lot of money an hour.
I'm trying to do the math in my mind.
For 80 hours? Math was not my strong suit.
$900 a week? At 40 hours?
$4,000 every 2 weeks. $8,000 a month. That's $500,000 a year. It's $416,000 a year before taxes.
Yeah, that would have been a conversation.
Yeah.
Definitely. He turned it down, and I didn't say anything about it. When our friends asked my opinion, I said that I supported my husband.
Wait a minute. I may have done that wrong.
When our friends asked my opinion, why are you asking about my financial situation in my marriage?
So he's making 25 an hour now, working at most 30 hours a week. He's making $6,000 a month. That ain't right.
It's $900 a week, right?
$750. If he's working making $25 an hour at 30 hours a week,
Oh,
that's
you're good.
$750. So that's $1,500 every 2 weeks. It's $3,000 a month before taxes.
So they would have been
That's $36,000.
5 times the income.
Yeah, it would have been 3 times the income. He would went from $36,000 a year to $96,000 a year
Oh, yeah.
before taxes. But that would put him in a different tax bracket.
If any of our friends ever approached me and asked how I felt about you denying a job, I'd been like, why the fuck are you asking me this question?
Right? How do you even know that?
Why the fuck are you asking me this question? My marriage does not concern you. The way that I feel about my husband taking or not taking a job does not matter to you.
It's a good point. How about I gave my husband the blessing? Because that's how that would look.
Yeah.
If I had an opportunity to do, if somebody was like, I want to buy the podcast, you guys continue to do exactly what you're doing right now and we will pay you triple. You think I'm going to be like, yes? No, I'm going to go, babe, here's the opportunity. What would you like to do? There's a good opportunity here. We can just be the face. They'll handle everything else. Da, 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 da. Do you want to do it? And if you're like, nope, I'm going to turn that job down. And at that point, if somebody goes, how do you feel about your husband turning that job down? You could be like, well, what, you think my husband didn't fucking come to me first? Like,
Right.
we're a team. That's how that should be looking.
Yeah. I like that response.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
That is how we live our lives.
I'd be mad offended if somebody asked me. I feel like that's prying.
Yeah.
Like-
I don't ever do shit without running things by you first. Ever. Like even in business that you have nothing to do with. I'm like, this is what's going on right now. This is what I think. What do you think? Because it helps me process things to have conversations, but I want you involved because this is our fucking life.
Yeah. The emotional fallout of you not having those conversations to me would be worse than you just having the conversation with me.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I somebody said in the chat, I can't imagine not taking 96 if I were only making 36,000 a year. I don't know how somebody can make less than $50,000 a year.
Part-time.
How the fuck do you live like that? Especially with the way things are right now. That's just fucking insane to me.
What's insane to me is the people who are okay with it.
If I had to start all over again and I was not able to learn a tattoo and open my tattoo businesses, I would have learned a trade. And I would have been a skilled tradesman, a lineman, a fucking welder, a carpenter,
I looked into welding, yeah.
electrician. I live in Florida. I'd be fucking owning an HVAC company. You know how many times I've thought about reaching out to my buddy and being like, yo, I want to buy into your business because I fucking know how much money you make. Because he charges me every time he comes out. I know the kind of fucking money you make.
Right.
I'm not saying that I'm not shitting on anybody that makes less than $50,000 a year. I'm empathizing with you. I know how much it costs to fucking live right now. And to know that you have an opportunity to make more than 50 grand a year and you turn that down to work 36,000 a year, that's a problem for me.
Her coat looks like a Ritz cracker.
Yeah.
The color of it.
Everyone in this house right now is a ginger besides Ivy.
You right. You right.
I know.
Fucking stepchild. I meant Ivy. We can finally get somebody else with a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing on. The second job offer was from his brother-in-law. He was able to get him $120,000 a year and commission. My husband said no, as he wouldn't be able to work in the same company as family. I do not want to tell my husband it is his family stability or he loses us. So these are my questions. Should I leave to better my son's life?
How are you going to do that? If you're struggling to do it on your own now in a marriage with another income, how's that going to work for you if you decide to leave? Are you banking on finding another man that's got more money and more ambition? And what happens if that doesn't work out?
Right. So you said that he's a great father. How is removing a great father from a child's life going to give that child a better life? I think that too many people are hung up on financials when it comes to raising children. Yes, having money is important to be able to provide them with the quality of things that they need. And if you're able to provide wants beyond that, that is dope. If you guys are able to pay your bills and you're upset because you can't DoorDash 4 days a week, that's a different conversation than we've had our water shut off 4 times in the last 6 months.
Right. I think the bigger issue here is that she's struggling.
Yeah.
He's aware of it and refuses to change.
Yeah.
And that's a very different conversation than I'm going to leave my husband because he won't work a 40-hour work week.
I agree.
This is the root, right? Since we talk about this all the time, what's the real problem? The real problem is not that he won't work 40 hours a week. It's that you're suffering. He knows that you're suffering and he's not willing to change to help you. That's a very different conversation than my husband won't work 40 hours a week.
Right.
I also need to know about the sister and the other kid. If
Yeah.
they're living there and you're supporting them, kick them the fuck out.
Yeah. Not my responsibility.
Right.
Kid can stay here. I would take care of the child.
Nope.
That would be hard for me.
Yeah.
No, not we'd have a conversation.
We would absolutely have to have a conversation about that. But when it comes down to it, you're my family.
Right.
Not your sister and her kid.
Right.
In this scenario, if I'm making enough to make sure that we have everything that we need and you are killing yourself for your sister, that's a you choice.
Right.
I will help out a little bit to try to like balance our life to make sure that we're okay. But at some point, your sister needs to go get a fucking job and move out of our house. I'm not trying to support a village.
Right.
And that's what you're doing by moving everybody in and doing all of that shit. Like, nope. That would be a very hard line for me. But I also think that the issue in this scenario is that he's not willing to help her while she's suffering. That's a bigger problem than everything else in here. If I saw that you weren't okay, we need to figure out how to make you okay. We've had conversations about this with our mental health
Right.
on regular basis. What can I do to make you okay right now? Is there anything? Do you just need to vent? You want a forehead kiss? You want to fucking take the day off? You want to go to the beach? What do you want to do? I'm here for it. Let's fucking make it happen. Because I want you to be okay. Just like when I'm having a really hard day, you ask me, what can I do? Is there anything? It's probably not, no.
It's more often than not a no.
But knowing that you were there is enough. You know that I'm not okay right now. That's good for me. Like,
You're paying attention.
but we are working towards teamwork, making sure that the relationship is okay so the marriage is okay. That's the real issue in all of this. She's struggling. He doesn't give a fuck to make changes and is just letting her struggle. That tells me way more than my husband doesn't want to work 40 hours a week.
Her next question was, how do I not sound like a broken record?
Well, if you've been bitching about money the entire time, maybe you bitch about the fact that you're suffering and he's not helping.
Right. I'm drowning. Next question is, how do I get my husband to meet me halfway?
The list, like I said, lay out all the jobs that you're doing at home and ask him to help you. I would be very careful throwing out fucking divorce.
Yeah, that's
You drop that ultimatum
nuclear.
and it changes the entire course of the relationship because he now knows that it's on the table.
Right.
And there could lead to abandonment issues. It could lead to a whole lot of things in your marriage.
What's the point in trying if she's already there?
Right. That could be very problematic. However, I also think that could be a very powerful tool if you hit him with, I've been doing this on my own all the time and I'm starting to feel like if I'm going to do it by myself, I might as well be by myself. There's still time to change it. I'm bringing this to you because I want you to change. I want to do this with you, but I'm doing it on my own and I can't anymore. But that also leads into the same thing that if you're doing it on your own now and you have his income and the issues of the income and he leaves, what you going to do then?
Right.
Because child support and alimony is not going to be the money he's making. You're going to be making even less taking care of you and your autistic child working from home and your sister and her kid.
Yep.
This needs to be a conversation of I'm not okay and you're supposed to be the one person on the planet that's got my fucking back and I don't feel like you've got my back anymore. If this is about a level up and you just want to make more money to live a better life, that's a very different conversation than you're fucking drowning and need him to pull you out. And I think that matters because there are people that are okay with having minimal shit and getting by and living a good life. Nobody wants to work like that. We do it because we want the income to live the life that we want to be able to live so that we can take vacations and have dope shit. And like, that's why we kill ourselves so that we can have a roof over our head. Some people are okay with just skating by and having enough in the bank to make sure that everything is paid and having a whole lot more free time on their hands. I can respect that. And if that's what it is for him, he should just say that. I don't want to kill myself working for the rest of my life. My body is in its prime right now to go and play sports and hockey and fucking hike and go on dates with you and live a good life. I can worry about money later, but right now, while I'm still physically fit and healthy, I want to go do shit. Let's go do shit. Eventually, that's going to bite you in the ass long term because you're not going to have a savings. You're not going to have a retirement fund like that. It's a whole different conversation. But maybe that's the conversation that needs to be had. I don't want to be a slave to the system. Well, if you can make a job making $120,000 a year versus the 36 that you're making now, that's 4 times the income. Why aren't you taking that job? Set up a Roth IRA, retire early, and then go fucking live your life the way that you want to live your life and be independent as a motherfucker. Financial freedom matters to me.
I agree.
So hearing all of this shit and hearing people talk about money and fighting about money, I don't understand that mindset. If I had the opportunity right now to double our income, I'm fucking taking that shit. As long as I don't have to sell my soul in the process.
Right.
But my motivation is very different than other people's. Like I honestly, truly do not believe I'm going to get to enjoy the retirement money that I've got coming.
Why?
Because my body's not going to be there. My spine is going to degenerate completely by the time I'm 65, 70 years old. I'm going to be crippled. I know that. So the idea of hiking and experiencing life physically fit, unless I have a shit ton of surgeries, is not going to be a thing for me. So me trying to stack money and build and grow and do is so that you guys have what you want when I'm fucking gone. I'm trying to take care of my family. I'm trying to grow and evolve and do so that I can enjoy a little bit of it now while still building an empire that's going to take care of everybody when I'm gone. His viewpoints obviously aren't the same thing.
Right.
He's trying to live right now, and that will catch up to you eventually. You can't live right now unless you plan on having an expiration date. But we know because of the amount of people who are like, I shouldn't be alive in my 30s. I had an expiration date of da-da-da-da-da. Well, now what? Because you didn't plan because you believe this was going to happen, and now you're here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I want to see the Great Wall of China with you.
Yeah. It's very specific.
Yeah.
It's going to take work.
I know.
It's something we can absolutely fucking do.
I want to go to Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to make a movie joke, but I can tell you're getting emotional over there. So I'm gonna
Really?
restrain it.
Already?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to make sure that your family's taken care of. Provision is not always financial.
It's not.
In this case, provision for them could be him coming home and helping with the inside shit so that she has some self-care time.
Right.
Right? Provision could be telling the sister, like, you've got 3 months to get a job and get the fuck out of the house. Whether she agrees with this or not. I'm the head of household. I have a special needs kid here that I'm trying to support and take care of, and you guys are making things harder on my family. Gotta go.
Yeah.
And that might make waves between her and the husband. I don't know. But eventually that could lessen the strain of things in the home. And maybe that's the thing that needs to happen. Maybe you get a slightly better paying job, hire somebody to come over and help take care of the kid while you're at work so that she doesn't have to work a full-time job and be a stay-at-home mom and take care of the house. Maybe you hire a maid. Right? There's a whole lot of things that could be done here. The issue really, I don't believe, is money. I believe she's drowning. He's not willing to pick up the slack, doesn't care that she's doing it, and that's where the issues are coming in. That's a very different conversation than finances.
I agree.
We're an hour and 45 minutes in.
Wow.
I know.
I got nothing left on that email.
I don't either. With that being said, guys, remember you are the author of your own life,
So grab a pen.
and we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.